They mocked him. They laughed. They shouted. They demanded a response. He said nothing, and that silence felt heavier than any sword drawn in anger. Because silence is not absence, it is control. Spartans did not conquer through speeches. They did not persuade through emotion. They did not prove themselves through noise. They mastered something far more dangerous: restraint. And restraint begins with silence. The word laconic comes from Laconia, the land of Sparta. It became synonymous with something feared across the ancient world: speech stripped to its sharpest edge. No excess, no decoration, no emotional leakage, only meaning. Greek writers recorded Spartan speech with fascination and sometimes discomfort, because Spartans spoke less than any other people in Greece. But when they spoke, they ended conversations. When King Philip II of Macedon sent a threat to Sparta, he wrote, "If I invade Laconia, I will destroy your city, enslave your people, and raze your lands." The Spartan reply, "If," one word, not defiance, not argument, certainty. That single word carried more psychological force than a speech ever could. Another example: when a foreigner asked why Spartan swords were so short, a Spartan answered, "So we can get closer to the enemy." Silence sharpened speech. Speech became impact. Most people speak to release pressure, to defend themselves, to explain themselves, to reassure themselves. Words become emotional escape. Spartans trained differently. They understood that self-command begins with restraint of impulse. And speech is one of the fastest impulses the body produces. A man who cannot control his tongue cannot control his reactions. In Spartan military training, discipline was measured not only by endurance, but by composure. A soldier who complained revealed weakness. A soldier who argued revealed instability. But a soldier who remained silent under strain revealed control. Roman historian Plutarch recorded that Spartans valued brevity because it required mental precision. To speak little, you must think clearly. To speak carefully, you must feel nothing unnecessary. Silence filters emotion. Silence sharpens judgment. Silence builds command. Thermopylae was not only a military event, it was psychological warfare. When Xerxes demanded surrender, he expected negotiation. He expected fear. He expected persuasion. He expected delay. Leonidas gave him none. Molon Lab, come and take them. Two words that crossed centuries. But even more powerful was what Spartans did before battle. Herodotus records that Persian scouts observed Spartans calmly grooming their hair, polishing shields, adjusting armor, standing in formation without speaking. They were not shouting war cries. They were not boasting. They were silent. The Persians interpreted this incorrectly, as indifference. It was preparation. When men can stand quietly before overwhelming odds, their enemies feel something unsettling. Unpredictability. Silence makes intention unreadable. Unreadable men are dangerous. Across history, warriors understood something modern culture forgets. Noise is often compensation. Men who must constantly declare strength rarely possess quiet certainty. Consider the contrast. Spartan warriors did not boast of victory. They commemorated fallen comrades. Roman generals did not shout before battle. They gave measured commands. Samurai did not announce skill. They demonstrated precision. Japanese samurai culture embraced the principle of mushin, mind without disturbance. Emotional noise disrupts perception. Stillness preserves clarity. The more internal control a warrior possessed, the less external expression he needed. Volume seeks validation. Silence requires none. Spartan training, the agoge, forged discipline through controlled hardship. Boys learned endurance not only through physical challenge, but through emotional restraint. Pain was endured quietly. Discomfort was observed, not dramatized. Instruction was minimal. Correction was direct. This created a psychological effect modern training rarely achieves: internalization. When external noise disappears, awareness intensifies. Samurai practiced seated meditation before combat training to quiet emotional reaction. Roman legionaries drilled identical movements repeatedly in silence to eliminate hesitation. Across warrior cultures, silence was not absence of instruction. It was the environment where mastery forms, because without distraction, the mind becomes precise. War is information. Information is advantage. The fewer signals you broadcast, the fewer vulnerabilities you reveal. Spartan military communication relied heavily on minimal command language, short signals, clear formation changes, no emotional commentary. Roman legions used silent hand signals in battle formations. Medieval knights trained to maintain composure during charge formation, because panic spreads through noise. Silence prevents contagion of fear. Noise spreads chaos. Modern warfare still reflects this principle. Elite units communicate in minimal, precise signals, because clarity requires compression, and compression requires restraint. Today, silence is rare. People broadcast constantly: opinions, reactions, plans, emotions, validation seeking. Noise is rewarded with attention, but attention is not strength. Attention is exposure. Spartans would have found modern life psychologically exhausting, not because of difficulty, but because of excess stimulation. The modern battlefield is informational. Arguments, distraction, emotional triggers. Every reaction drains energy. Every unnecessary response weakens control. Warrior silence in modern life means not reacting to every provocation, not explaining every decision, not displaying every intention. Control begins where reaction ends. Presence is not created by motion, it is created by stillness. A room becomes aware of a man not because he speaks loudly, but because he is stable. Spartan warriors trained posture deliberately, standing balanced, breathing steady, eyes forward. Roman centurions cultivated physical stillness before issuing command, because calm posture communicates certainty. Samurai stood motionless before drawing blade, because readiness begins in stillness. Presence is silent authority. It cannot be manufactured through performance. It emerges from internal order. Words expend energy. Restraint stores energy. When you argue, defend, justify, explain constantly, your mind remains reactive. But silence forces containment. Containment builds pressure. Pressure builds power. Stoic philosophers practiced voluntary silence to observe impulse. Samurai practiced emotional neutrality before engagement. Spartans practiced non-reaction under discomfort. All for one reason: to ensure emotion never outruns judgment. Silence trains the nervous system to remain stable under stimulus. That stability becomes strength. Warrior silence is trained, not assumed. Pause before speaking. Let conversation finish completely. Respond only when response improves outcome. Withhold unnecessary explanation. Do not announce progress prematurely. Do not defend every misunderstanding. Roman Stoic Epictetus advised, be silent for the most part, or speak only what is necessary. Spartan culture lived this principle daily. When words become rare, they become valuable. When speech becomes measured, thought becomes sharp. And when restraint becomes natural, authority becomes visible. History remembers warriors who moved with precision, who spoke with purpose, who reacted with control, not because silence made them passive, because silence made them powerful. Noise fades quickly, but controlled presence endures. Silence is not emptiness, it is contained force. And contained force is what changes history. If this lesson resonates, do not announce your transformation. Begin it quietly. Speak less. Observe more. React slower. Prepare deeper. Let silence sharpen you. Walk with honor. Stand your ground. Follow the path. Warrior's Path.